Memorial service for Denise Crow Gil Yurko, age 60, of Childersburg. That will be Thursday at 4 p.m. from Fayetteville Methodist Church, with the Reverend John Limbaugh officiating. Ms. Yurko died at her residence on January the 9th. Online condolences, online memorials at CourteousandSonFH.com. Courteous and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Mr. Douglas Wesson, age 68, retired police chief of Childersburg, died yesterday at his residence. Courteous and Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel, announcing. Funeral service for Mr. Lewis Abbott, age 75, will be today at 2 p.m. from Providence Baptist Church in Harpersville. Burial in the Vincent Cemetery. Visitation today prior to the service, 11 until 2, also at Providence Baptist Church. Courteous and Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel, directing. Funeral service for Inez Smith Miller, age 72, of Childersburg, will be Thursday at 11 a.m. from Courteous and Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel. The Reverend Paul Hickman Jr. officiating. Burial in the Mount Olive Cemetery in Talladega. Visitation this evening from 5 until 8 p.m. at the Childersburg Chapel. Ms. Miller died at Talladega Healthcare on January the 11th. Online condolences at CourteousandSonFunerals.com. Courteous and Son Funeral Home, Childersburg Chapel, directing. Ms. Miller was a member of the Calvary Baptist Church and retired from the Talladega Board of Education. Mrs. Jackie Spates died yesterday at Shelby Baptist Medical Center. Courteous and Son Funeral Home announcing. Mr. Howard E. McCluskey died on Tuesday at St. Vincent's Hospital. He was 63 years old. Courteous and Son Funeral Home announcing. Mrs. Ella Faye Ferguson McClinney, age 87, died January the 7th. Funeral service will be held Saturday at noon from Courteous and Son North, with the Reverend John Mann officiating. Visitation on Saturday from 10:30 a.m. until noon at Courteous and Son North. Burial in the Evergreen Memorial Cemetery. Online memorials can be made to CourteousandSonFH.com. Ms. McClinney served as county textbook supervisor and Rockford City Councilperson. She is a member of the Rockford United Methodist Church, where she served as Sunday school teacher and treasurer and choir member. Courteous and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, with the arrangements. Funeral service for Dorothy Neighbors Matthews, age 86, of Childersburg, is today at 2 o'clock from Andrews Chapel United Methodist Church, with the Reverend Bill Bogan officiating. Burial in the Andrews Chapel Cemetery in Hanover. Mrs. Matthews died January the 11th at Coosa Valley Medical Center. She was a longtime member of the Andrews United Methodist Church. Visitation today at the church from 12:30 until 2 p.m. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleysmith.com. Radley Smith Funeral Home, directing. Funeral service for Mrs. Frances Maurice Williams, age 98, is today at 2 o'clock from the chapel of Radley Smith Funeral Home, with the Reverend Charles Moore officiating. Burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. Mrs. Williams died January the 11th at Coosa Valley Medical Center. Visitation today, noon until 2 at Radley Smith. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleysmith.com. Radley Smith Funeral Home, directing. Graveside service for Mary Ruth Harper Kennedy, age 89, is today at 11 a.m. from the Evergreen Cemetery. Visitation from 10 until 11 at Radley Smith Funeral Home. Mrs. Kennedy died January the 11th in Talladega. She was 89 years old. Radley Smith Funeral Home, directing. Funeral service for Randy Lee Stewart, age 54, will be 2 o'clock today at Ursery Funeral Home Chapel in Talladega, with burial in the Midway Memory Gardens Cemetery. Visitation from 1 until 2 at Ursery Funeral Home. The Reverend Wes Johnson will officiate the service. Online condolences at urseryfuneralhome.com. Ursery Funeral Home, Talladega, directing. Funeral service for Willie Bell Tuck, age 87, is today at 1 p.m. from Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church, with the Reverend Dante Whitaker officiating. interment in the Macedonia Church Cemetery. Mrs. Tuck died January the 6th at Talladega Healthcare. And visitation prior to the service, 1 hour at Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church today. Aniston Funeral Home directing. And Mr. Charles Brock, age 66, died January the 10th at UAB Medical Center. Funeral arrangements to be announced by Community Funeral Home in Sylacauga. That is a look at obituaries this morning, brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. Your dignity provider, Curtis & Son Funeral Home.